Hi, Steve Harrison here. How are you going to motivate yourself to climb new heights? What if you could get the insight of a top executive coach who's helped people achieve major breakthroughs? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do right now. With me is Andro Donovan. She's the author of the new book, Motivate Yourself. Get the life you want, find purpose, and achieve fulfillment. Andro, welcome.
Hi, Steve. Lovely to be here with you.
You know, great to have you. I understand you're talking to me live from your country house outside London. Is that right?
That's right, yes. It's a country house in Wiltshire, Salisbury.
So it sounds, I'm just going to assume that you then, in that regard, you have the life you want. You have practiced what you preach.
Absolutely. There's always more.
That's right. There's always more. So what's some tips you would give people that they know a lot of times what they should do. They know that if they did something, maybe they worked on their book every day, that would really help. Or if they reached out to media regularly, they would get more publicity. I mean, I think everybody has in their mind the good that they ought to do, but they can't get themselves to do it. Give us some help. Give us some advice. What should they do?
Well, having just gone through that process myself very recently, I really resonate with fellow authors or struggling authors or people with, blocks around their capability. And in order to motivate yourself to get through some of those barriers, I'm really kind of eating my own dog food here because it's something that I put into practice when I started writing. And I think the first stage is a lot of people out there think it's about out there, what you want out there. But I think the first place to begin is, what do I actually want myself? So not the list of all the things you don't want, but all the things that really this book for you, writing the book, is about. What is it going to give you? What's the essential purpose? And what maybe core values it really does kind of resonate with? Because unless you actually journey inwards and connect to something very deep, you're going to give up at the first hurdle.
So give me an example how you maybe, it'd be good to have an example of somebody not doing it maybe the right way and then actually course correcting and doing it the right way. So if it's an author, whether it's you or somebody else that you just hypothetically, give me a sense of kind of what this looks like.
Well, for instance, let's take the author. That's a really good example. You think you want to write a book because it makes you more credible in your, chosen field. So you sit down and you put pen to paper, and the first thing that comes up is that little voice in your head, which says, who do you think you are? Who's going to read this? Oh, that looks like that's a load of rubbish, And most people, or I'd say maybe 80% of those people will get, sucked into that voice. They've put their computer away and they've been put off at the first hurdle. So I think anything you can do to surface these, I call them rats, short for rational mind, that are giving you lots of rational reasons why you're not the person that is going to write this book. You need to exorcise these voices and start to not bite it and tune into something different, a cheerleader, if you like.
I love that. So what do they do? So how do they kill the rat, so to speak? They're sitting there and they're hearing that voice. Wow, who are you to even think about writing this book? And so in that moment, what would one do?
Well, one of the things I go into here, I call it the barrier theory, is we all hit barriers. I don't care whether you're dieting, you're trying to make more connections with your kids, you're writing a book, you're a doctor and you've got too many patients on your list. I don't care who you are, you will hit barriers. Everybody says that, thousands of people I've worked with say that. The main thing you have to do at that point is decode yourself emotionally. So you have to start to stop in your tracks and go, what is the voice saying? And then actually articulate it to yourself. So surface it as a voice. So think about what it's saying. Then think about, what emotion am I hitting now? Am I becoming a victim? Am I getting sucked into the voice? And then I show you ways of decoding yourself and transforming that voice so that you can elevate your energy and break through. And to put it bluntly, you have to set yourself a very, very small short-term goal. And I'll give you a really good example. When I travel and I'm jet lagged and the alarm goes off, I hit the first barrier, which is, oh my God, it can't be that time in the morning and I've got to go and face a group or whatever. And so I decode myself and I go, shower, coffee, because I've immediately hit this apathy. And then the moment I'm moving, I can start to transform those thoughts and feelings.
I like that. So I like that phrase, to decode yourself and to have that real short-term goal, because you're right, one thing leads to another, and a lot of times just getting to that next step is really the critical part of being able to go all the way.
Absolutely.
That's great. Andro, can you give us an example of somebody who's used this approach and they found a way to motivate themselves and it really made a big difference?
I can. I was coaching an investment banker chap. And through the work we were doing, we gotten on to my favorite subject, which was life planning. And one of the areas that was causing him a lot of grief was he had to do so much long haul traveling that he was starting to get chronic backache, fatigue, etc. It was affecting every area of his life. So we did the whole process of going into what really lights him up. You know, what would he really want in his life if he had different choices? And through doing that very, very fundamental and cathartic work, he connected to some core values. And one of them was, he really wanted to be around at home more. He wanted to be in the UK. He wanted to design. He always had this yearning to be an architect and design buildings. But because his job was so lucrative, he felt duty bound. He had those sort of golden handcuffs. Anyway, his partner gave him permission, if you like, to take a sabbatical and explore. So he took a few months off and we met intensively during that time. And to cut a very long story short, he made a decision to stop what he was doing, stop the traveling and enroll in an interior design course. And now he's one of the top architects and interior designers in London. And this is like 3 years on. So he's really made it. And
Wow.
It was through following his heart. And that's an absolutely true story. He gets big shot clients in Hampstead and London. And it's brilliant because he was so scared. He was like a fledgling little bird when he first went for it. But I said, back it. The worst comes to the worst. Take a year off and then you can always go back. And he said, I'd never look back now.
Oh, I like that. In every problem there lies a gift. So let's remember that. And I want to encourage everybody to go right now and get a copy of Motivate Yourself. In fact, show your book there so everybody can see it. Motivate Yourself. And where is that available?
You can get that on Amazon.com. It's on amazon.co.uk. In the UK, it's available in WH Smith's, which is in all the terminals, Heathrow, etc. But I think your best bet is probably the amazon.com. And if you read it and you love it, please write a review.
Wonderful. Awesome. Andro, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Steve.